What is up, everybody? That's pretty embarrassing when I forgot that I had to have a microphone to talk into the microphone. Oh, party time. Woo! Yeah, cool words. Doritos, Extreme, Mountain Dew, Cheese Puffs, Gamers. Thanks, Glorious Beard 89. What a start to today's podcast, y'all. Party time, woo. Yeah, cool words. Doritos, Extreme, Mountain Dew, Cheese Puffs, Gamers. I don't know where all that came from, but I love the energy. Thank you, Haas00312, for following. 66% sure that you are a bot, but who cares? I appreciate your follow. How's everybody doing today? How are you doing, Glorious Beard? How are you doing, Anna? How are you doing, whoever else is watching? I'm doing pretty good. I am fully, I think, recovered from my sickness, other than I can't get rid of this pesky cough. It is very annoying for me and others around me. But I found these original herb cough drops that I'm about to put one in my mouth right now, actually, because I could feel a little tickle coming on. And they help. But I think because there's medicine in them, I think that I'm supposed to only have a couple of these a day, maximum. And I have had 3 this hour. So, Glorious Beard 89 says, I still feel weird as shit because the COVID. Did you get the COVID, Nathan? Or was it just your wife or anyone or your families, or what happened? Hope you're feeling okay. It's never fun. Yeah, I did not have the COVID. I just had like a sinus thing, but we talked about it a couple weeks ago. Like, it's weird to cough. See, like that. It's weird to cough in a public setting because people automatically assume that you have the COVID, and I do not have the COVID. I just have a cough, but it's very annoying. I did go get tested just in case, and let me tell you, that was expensive because Jaboy here doesn't have what do they call it? Medical insurance. That's right. So because of that, I had to pay like $95 for a test. So that sucked butt. A lot of butt. But, we're good. It came back negative. I am healthy. I just have a little tickle in the throatal area. So if that would go away, it would be very beneficial to me and to all of the people that are annoyed at me that are around me. So, all right. Welcome to the Sully Perspective, everyone. I am your host for the evening, Sully. What we do here is we record a live podcast every Tuesday here on Twitch at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then that podcast, with your comments and my responses and all, goes live on podcast services the following Monday at midnight. So right when you wake up Monday morning for your early shift and your commute, you can put me on, listen to my sweet, sweet voice. And, yeah. Glorious Beard says, yeah, Liz, I never went and got tested. I'm 95% sure I had it, lost my smell. You can get tested for free. You cannot get tested for free unless you have health insurance. What, you can get oh, that's, okay, let me rephrase that. I'm sorry. You absolutely can get tested for free. We went to get tested for free, and, we went at 10 in the morning. Was that right? 9 in the morning? 10? And the line was, this is not an exaggeration, at least from the street to the turn-in, and from the turn-in to the tent is like a quarter mile, and it was 2 lights down, so like another quarter mile. So a half a mile long line, and that was at 9 or 10 in the morning, so we weren't waiting in that line, so I went and paid. Liz went and got tested for free. No, I know that. People did go get tested for free. I could have gotten tested for free, but on my 1 day off of, or I only get 2 days off of the week, I didn't want to spend half of one of my days sitting in a line. So I bit the bullet and I paid $95, got tested, got that big neg, and we're back up and running. So I probably have the bronchitis or something. So who knows what I have, but I cannot stop coughing. It's very, very annoying. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for being here. Say hello in the chat or don't. We love people just watching too. If you're new, basically how this works, it's a 5-topic podcast. Those 5 topics are sports news, nerdy news, movie review of the week, the Sully perspective on blank, and Sully tries something new Tuesday. Each of those segments have a 5-minute time limit. Once that buzzer sounds, I have to finish up whatever I'm talking about and move on, unless I don't want to because it's my podcast. Fuck you. She went somewhere and it was like 4 in the afternoon. It only took 40 minutes. Well, good for her. That is nice because that line that I saw looked so long. But basically, we jump right in. Like I said, if you're new here, say hello in the chat. Tell me your name. Say what's up. Or do not. That is okay, too. Here we go with nerdy news of the week. And away we go. Oh, wait. Hold on. See, I messed up already. I have to change my screen. Why do I do this it's something every week. It's either I forget to open the timer. I forget to go to the correct screen. Okay. Now we're on the correct screen. Sheesh. Glorious Beard 89 says, I can't smell anything. I can't smell anything. It is weird. I hope Sully tries butt sex this Tuesday. What? What is going on? My mother's probably watching. Way to go, Nathan. We don't talk about butt sex with my mom in the chat. Everyone knows that. It's the one rule I have, man. All right, now we are live with nerdy news and away we go. This week in nerdy news, SpiderMan trailer dropped. It's the #1 biggest thing that's blowing up everywhere. First, a leaked trailer. Leaked, obviously. It was like a video of a phone playing the video. The audio was terrible. You could barely see what was going on. Of course, I watched that. And it was horrible. I wish I had not watched that. But then, because of that, I guess Disney said, oh, F it. People are watching it anyways. Let's just go ahead and release the actual trailer. So they did. They released the actual trailer, and wowie, wowie, wow, wow. This trailer is nutso. Anna was watching it with me. I was freaking out. There's so many things in this trailer. We see a potential Green Goblin with Willem Dafoe. I'm talking about OG Green Goblin. We saw Doc Ock. We're talking, there was a mysterious figure in a closet that we can't figure out. We saw Doctor Strange talking to him. We're talking, there's so much in this trailer, but it only created more questions instead of less questions. Nathan says, I am turning this off because I don't want to hear anything about Spider-Man. Just mute me for like 30 seconds. We'll be moving on. The trailer was awesome. If you're paying attention to semi-nerdy news anywhere else in the world, it's nothing to spoil. We still don't know anything other than Doc Ock is in it, which we already knew from the actor Doc Ock. That's not his real name. But it's exciting because it really does look like a multiverse, and we don't know. It didn't spoil anything, though, like as far as who's in it, which is nice, but we'll see. Next, what if episode 2 came out, and then what if episode 3 will be this next tomorrow, actually. What if episode 2 was really, really good? This is a lot of Marvel news, by the way. Really good. It was what if T'Challa, Black Panther, was Star-Lord. And oh my goodness, it was just cameo after cameo after cameo after cameo of random characters you would not expect to be in it. And the craziest thing to me was that they were all voiced by the original actors, other than like 2. Like Drax was in it, but he wasn't the original voice actor. Like it wasn't, what's that guy's name? Dave Bautista. And there was a couple more, but like even people that came in with one-liners were in there. Like Okoye, the actress that plays Okoye, she had one line, and it was actually that actress. So I don't know how Disney paid these people or what their agreements were, but there were people that came in for literally one-liners, some big cameos. So I was very happy with it. I'm excited to see what this next episode brings. Apparently, it has something to do with the Black Widow and Nick Fury. Jay Montegna says, OG Green Goblin with a bunch of hard eyes. Also, I genuinely love all the Spider-Mans, but Tom Holland is gold, and I'm enjoying his sets. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, and if you disagree with that, you can GTFO this whole thing, this whole podcast. I hope that Tobey Maguire does make some sort of weird cameo, but I hope that's it. I really hope that's it, because I don't need to see Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man ever again. It would be okay with me if I never saw it again. But Captain America 4 is officially announced with Anthony Mackie as Captain America. He has officially signed on. That is exciting. Elon Musk announces Tesla bots. This is weird. They're going to be humanoid robots, 5 foot 8 inches tall. They only weigh 125 and only can go up to 5 miles an hour. His reasoning for this was, I swear to God, his quote was something to the effect of, in case of an artificial intelligence uprising, we will be able to outrun or overpower them. Like, talk about planning for the future. It's fantastic. They're basically meant to do, and the other quote was that they are friendly. That sounds sketchy. They're supposed to do regular tasks like take your groceries from the car or help you fix, change a tire. Things that are mundane, yet hard to do, possibly. It's also the code name Optimus Prime, which is pretty cool. Moving on, NBC is officially on hold and ready if Greg Daniels ever wants to come in and do an Office reboot. They have said, the showrunner or the head of content, I guess, for NBC came out and said officially, that's right, if Greg Daniels ever wants to do it, he can come and make a Office reboot and we will be ready and we will make it 100%. I don't think that'll ever happen. I'm listening to a podcast right now, Deep Dive, with the guy Brian Baumgartner who plays Kevin. I'm listening to the Deep Dive of The Office, and based on Greg Daniels' interview and Brian Baumgartner, I don't think it'll ever happen, but it's fun to wish. And then last but not least, since my buzzer went off, September 1st is now officially # a day off Twitch protest for a bunch of hate raids that have been going on against marginalized streamers, specifically the LGBTQ community or plus community. People basically get a bunch of people that hate homosexuality and then they raid homosexual or LGBTQ, I guess, communities, like their streams, and then they put a bunch of hate in the chat. It's terrible. It's also done with different race people. It's been a big problem. Twitch is coming out saying they're going to try and work on it, but as a protest to get Twitch to pay more attention because they're not doing great, is September 1st. A bunch of people, a bunch of big name people that have a lot of power on Twitch are not streaming all on the same day. So that will be interesting to see how Twitch responds. That's it for your nerdy news. Jay Montegna says, no love for Andrew Garfield. Him and Emma Stone were great on screen. Emma Stone was great. And Andrew Garfield was better than Tobey Maguire. I'll say that. Was he as good? He's no Tom Holland. He's still no Tom Holland. I also didn't love. I love Jamie Foxx, but I didn't love Jamie Foxx as the villain, as Electrode or whatever his name is. In the chat we have, I vote no to Robot Army, but thanks Tesla. Wait unless I can have a C-3PO. Now that's cool because that guy moves like maybe a mile an hour, and he's so clumsy. He's always falling off shit. Kevin's podcast is really fun. Kevin's podcast is really fun. If you have not listened to, it's called a deep dive, The Office Deep Dive, I think. Is that what it's called? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's I've enjoyed it a lot. They've had more than just actors on there. They've had like cameramen. They've had showrunners. They've had directors. They've had a lighting crew. They've interviewed everyone, and it's been very, very good. Moving on to sports news of the week, and away we go. First up, we have the UFC. Jared Cannonier defeats Kevin Gastelum for the middleweight division. Middleweight is looking crazy. Obviously, we have Israel Adesanya with the belt right now. It's looking like Whitaker is going to fight for the belt next, possibly. And then I'm going to guess that it would be Cannonier versus Costa. Or a better idea would be Marvin Vettori just lost to Israel Adesanya. And then Costa also just lost to Israel Adesanya. So put them two together. And then maybe a Cannonier can fight the winner of either the belt fight or whoever wins that fight. It's crazy. There's 5 or 6 great guys in that division. Moving on, wrestling. Who would have thought I'd do wrestling news? This week in wrestling was crazy. Oh, that fan is back on. I'm hot. This week in wrestling went nuts, though. They brought back Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, John Cena came back with this stuff. You know, he did a lot of that. I believe he lost to Roman Reigns. But then in the AEW, which is the competitor to the WWE, they brought in CM Punk, who used to do WWE. So that's crazy. And people in the wrestling world are freaking out, I guess. I've never followed wrestling, but people that love wrestling are big old fans, that's for sure. In the NBA, LeBron received 0 votes by coaches and players or whoever voted for the best player heading into the 2021-22 season. It's like the first time this has happened in like 10 years or something, 14 years, I don't know. But this is kind of crazy. I mean, it's not crazy because he's not the best player in the league, so it's not really crazy. It's just crazy that he received 0 votes. It's not crazy that he didn't win. He's definitely not the best player in the league, but it is crazy he literally received 0 votes. I mean, and this is LeBron James we're talking about. Plus, he just had a terrible movie that came out. College football is 4 days away, y'all. Literally in 4 days. By the time, if you're listening to this podcast, by the time you hear this, we will have had the first week down. It's a bunch of smaller schools, not no-name schools. And then a week from Saturday will be the big first games going on, including the Gators. In other news in college football, we have a possible future merger. This was just announced like 30 minutes before I started the podcast. The ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-10 are talking about working together and possibly combining in the near future. Obviously, this comes off of the heels of the news that University of Texas and and Oklahoma University are going to be in the near future moving from the Big 12 to the SEC, making us the SEC now a 16-team conference, which is very large. We don't know how conferences are going to work or divisions are going to work within those conferences, but now I think a lot of people are very scared of the SEC just having most of the ESPN money, which they do. So you're going to see some mergers of some other conferences possibly. And basically what this is all leading up to is I see in the future basically 2 mega conferences. The SEC is probably just going to take over the rest of the Big 12 teams. The ACC, Big 10, and Pac-10 are going to combine. And you'll basically have, I guess you could call that a North and a South conference, but I guess the ACC has like Florida State and stuff like that. So they have some Southern teams. So I guess it would not be a South and a North conference. But in general, 2 mega conferences. And then it's going to change everything up. We're also probably going to like a 12-team, possibly more, 8 or 12-team playoff system in college football pretty soon. It's been talked about for years and years, but it actually looks like it actually gained some momentum this year. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. College football will be interesting this year, but not that interesting. And then in the next year or the year after that, it's just going to look very, very different. So enjoy your conferences as they are this year because it'll probably all be changing in the next year or 2. That's it for sports news. I finished before the timer. I think that's the first time I've ever done that on anything, right? Did I miss any sports news, y'all? Message me in the chat if I missed any sports news. Let's just do a countdown all together. 8, 7. No, that's dumb. Oh, man. No, sports news is light every summer. This is the end of summertime. There's the timer. It's the end of summertime, so not a lot of sports are going on. We don't have college football yet, but we're out of the basketball season. The Olympics are done. So everything is just kind of, soccer's just in a bunch of soccer tournaments just ended. NBA is out of season. So the end of summer is always weird. August is always strange. We'll, I'm sure, have many more stories once fall and Christmas start rolling around. So that's it for that movie review of the week. Here we go. This week on Movie Review of the Week, we have Free Guy, the new Ryan Reynolds movie. It is a Disney movie, which I did not realize earlier. Oh, I'm sorry. Jay Montagna. We'll just go back for a second. Jay Montagna says the Paralympics just started. That is right. Thank you, Jamie, for putting that in the chat. The Paralympics did just start, and some of that shit is awesome to watch. I just watched soccer. Everyone had one leg and was on crutches. They were going faster than I could ever run. And it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Sorry, now we're on to movie of the week. Thank you, Jamie, for saying that. Free Guy, if you've not seen it and you want to, I'll give you the rating up front, and then we can talk about it. The rating, of course, is a 4-point scale. It's either extremely do not watch, watch, or extremely watch. One of those four only. I'm going to actually give this an extremely watch. I very much enjoyed this movie. Now, as a film, if I was like on a 10-point scale, would I be giving it anything above like a 7.5? Probably not. But sometimes that's okay. It can still be an extremely watch. This movie was fun. This movie was funny. If you are a gamer, if you grew up playing video games and you have lived in that world where you've played multiple types of video games before, you will appreciate this movie even more. The gist of it is that Ryan Reynolds is a non-playable character in the world of this video game. Kind of like the Truman Show-esque, where he doesn't realize that he is living in a bubble of this world. He thinks that he's just living a normal life, and he starts to become more sentient, more aware of what's going on, decides to make a change in his life, becomes a sunglasses person, one of the cool people, and turns out and realizes that his life is basically a giant lie. He is artificial intelligence. He's just in a video game, but he is becoming more aware and feels things. And yeah, there's a lot of video game references in this movie. There are a lot of just like video game feeling things like that made me chuckle. You know, like finding loot on the ground, or a character dying in front of you and then dropping, you know, money. Stuff that just, if you've played video games a lot, will make this movie much more enjoyable. But if you haven't played video games, that's okay too, because Ryan Reynolds is both very hot and very funny. He's a double threat. Actually, wasn't Ryan Reynolds in that musical, La La Land? No, I get them confused. Who is that? Oh, that's Ryan Gosling. Okay. I was going to say Ryan Reynolds is a triple threat, but I guess he's not. Just a double threat. And he's married to Blake Lively, right? That makes him a triple threat. They're like the hottest couple ever, right? This is also a Disney movie, so without spoiling too much, there are some very funny cameos. There are some very surprising cameos, but two that I'll tell you about that are not actual cameos. They're just voice cameos that I did not know about until I actually looked up the movie afterwards. One of the voices of a random character in the world was, of course, being a Ryan Reynolds movie, he plays Deadpool. Who other than Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, did voice one of the characters that was like the guy, just some guy that died, basically. And then another voice cameo was The Rock was in it. The guy that robs the bank and then Ryan Reynolds accidentally shoots with a shotgun. That was The Rock. So apparently that was a thing. A spoiler alert really quickly if you don't want to know. It's not that spoily, but as a cameo, put me on mute for 12 seconds. Go. Chris Evans comes in as, I guess, Captain America in the movie. You see Captain America's shield, and Chris Evans, it flashes to him watching a video on his phone, and he goes, "What the shit?" And that was his only line. And apparently Ryan Reynolds bumped into him one day while getting coffee, and while they were filming, and just asked him, "Hey, can you come film for like a couple minutes, just some sort of cameo?" And Chris Evans was like, "I have 10 minutes. And Ryan Reynolds was like, "I swear we'll get you in and out." And they got him in and out in 7 minutes, apparently, which is pretty cool. I thought it was funny. But he had a one-line cameo. There's some other cameos I won't tell you to ruin, but that was a really fun one. Of course, it's Disney, so they have the power to do that. They're throwing everything Disney at it. I think at one point he has a lightsaber, because Disney owns Star Wars and my soul. So that is it for my review of the week. Remember, Free Guy is an extremely watch. If you've not seen it, it's still in theaters. And if you want to wait till, it's not a must see in, let me rephrase, it's not a must see in theaters, but I think it's an extremely watch. It's not a rush to go see this in the theaters. But I think if you, I think it is a good movie, especially if you're either a video game fan or if you are a Marvel fan or if you're a Disney fan or if you're a Ryan Reynolds fan or if you just like a semi-clean, wholesome, fun movie. Semi-clean, right? There's nothing bad in it. I think they say like an F word once, but all right, moving on, guys, to the Sully perspective on. How this works is I give you my perspective of a different topic every week, and it could be something random. It could be something serious. It could be something funny. But this week on the Sully perspective on, I'm going to be talking about getting a little more vulnerable and talking about getting back in the gym after you used to be a fit person and then you're not anymore, and then you're trying to get back in the gym. This is what I've recently done. Of course, as you all know, I am plump. But one day and at one time, I was a fit person. I was in shape. Probably about 4 years ago, 4 years ago, I felt like I was really in shape and I was working out all the time and eating pretty healthy. And then I don't know what happened. I met a girl who made me fat now. The relationship pounds are real. First of all, we'll talk about that. Like getting into a relationship makes you a fat person because all you want to do is cuddle on the couch and watch something like a movie and eat ice cream. You know what you don't want to do? Go look fit and get, in shape and work out. What you want to do is Netflix and chill kind of thing, So I've become the heaviest I've ever been. And so we decided that we are going to get fit again. We're tired of feeling this way. And let me just, it's hard. It's hard to get back in the gym. You can't, especially, I think that it would be not even as hard if I had never worked out before. If I had just never been fit before, getting in the gym for the first time would be very tough. But I think I'm struggling with what I used to be able to do versus what I can do now. What I used to be able to lift, the amount of steps I could take before I was completely winded and felt like I was going to pass out. We did a guys trip to Texas a couple months ago, and I played spike ball with my buddies for like a few minutes, and I literally told them that my chest hurt, like my heart. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. That can't be a healthy thing for a 29-year-old to say, right? So it's frustrating to get back in the gym and to think, hey, I used to be able to run for this long. Hey, I used to be able to bench this much. Hey, I used to be able to do this many reps of this. And then you get in there and you know mentally that you can do this, but physically you just literally cannot. And it's frustrating. It's hard to get back into it. It's also very hard to start eating healthy. Sugar addiction is a real thing. Caffeine addiction is a horrible thing. That's what I've been struggling with a lot. This coffee and the energy drinks. It's too much. And the caffeine is kicking my ass. Mainly because the coffee that I get is full of sugar. That's the problem. I drink like lattes and stuff. But it's hard. So if you're out there and you're trying to get better in life and you're trying to work out and you're becoming frustrated, just know it's okay. There are other people out there frustrated and struggling too. We're getting through it together. Get a partner too, because it's nice to have someone that will at least, if not push you, struggle with you, suffer with you, and just be as miserable as you are while you're doing it. So, I know that I will be back one day, hopefully, to the fitness level that I was before. But man, getting back in the gym just sucks. We're trying to do now, 5 days a week, sometimes 4 days a week, sometimes, depending on the schedule that we're doing. So consistency is really the key, as I've learned in the past when I've been fat and got fit, is that it's all about consistency, just showing up and doing something. So let me know if you guys have been struggling with working out. I know some people in this chat specifically have posted about it on their social medias. Working out sucks, man. It's not easy. You know what sucks is like all of these super fit people that are just posting all the time on social media, and you just see them and you're like, Why? Why do they make it look so easy and beautiful? Have you seen me, like, if you watched a social media person do a fitness thing, like they're doing a bench press, why do they look good doing it? That's what I don't understand. If you saw me, I look like I'm pooping. I literally am on the bench, like pushing something up, and it's the same face I make if I have problems using the restroom. That's all I'm saying. It's terrible. But I watch these Instagram people, and they're like beautiful, and sometimes they have makeup on. Who puts makeup on to work out? If I had makeup on, it would melt off of my face and be all in my beard right here in this like beard region. Be disgusting. Anyways, that's what that's the Sully perspective on this week. The Sully perspective on getting back into fitness. It's frustrating, and I feel like it's been a, hey, I want to get fit, and then I fall off the wagon. So we're trying to stay on the wagon. The message this week is stay on the wagon. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least like hold on to the wagon, and eventually we'll get there. All right, guys, moving on. This week on Try Something New Tuesday. I'm pretty nervous about this one. I'm not going to lie. I feel like this is going to be disgusting. I feel like I'm not going to like this at all. I'm really, really scared. But this week, Anna, do you want to go get that for me? All right, here we go. And away we go. This week on Try Something New Tuesday. Typically, we try weird combinations of foods. And as always, that is what we're doing again this week. This week, our weird combination is Oreos. Give me like 3. Dipped in, not milk, its usual delicious companion, but orange juice. That's right. Oreos dipped in orange juice. Now, let me tell you, I love Oreos. Like, I fucking love Oreos. And I love Oreos dipped in milk specifically. And how I dip them in milk is I leave them in for a long time until they get soft. I know some people are like a quick dip and then they just go for it. I like a soft cookie. So I dip for quite a while. So I'm going to follow the same method that I typically do with milk to make it fair. I've had a cough drop in my mouth, so I need to rinse, I think. I feel like it's an unfair like flavor. All right, here we go. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna treat it as if it was milk. I know some people do short dips. I'm doing long dip. All right, here we go. I'll hold it up. I'm gonna show you how long I dip in milk for. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You let it drain. You let it drain. Here we go. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. Ewy. That's not good. Oh. I thought this is what I was hoping. I was hoping sometimes when you mix orange and cream, you get orange creamsicle, right? Jamie says, all I can think is I dip, you dip, we dip. We all dip for dip dip. I was hoping for creamsicle, right? Orange plus the center of the Oreo equals creamsicle, maybe with some chocolate. And I thought it would not be bad. What I got instead was just bitter orange juice and then an Oreo. They stayed separated. Like the flavor didn't. I'm going to leave it in longer this time. See if I can really soak in that orange juice flavor. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to wait till all the bubbles stop popping up. That seems like a good time period, right? We're just really leaving it in here. You see that? All right, that should be good. Look at all that. Oh, yeah. This is a heavy one. It's dense with orange juice. Here we go. Here's what's strange about this. Milk absorbs into the cookie when you dip. You know what I'm talking about? You dip the milk into the cookie. What did I just say? Sorry, you dip the cookie into the milk. I don't know. I'm drunk. You dip the cookie into the milk, and the milk soaks, like the cookie soaks up the milk into the cookie part. And then it tastes like creamier. I feel that for some strange, probably scientific reason, that when I dip this cookie, no matter how long I leave it in, I'll do a third one. I'm just going to sit here, and as I talk, I'm going to dunk it. I'll leave it in for an exceptionally long time until the cookie is falling apart. I feel that no matter how long I leave the cookie in, it's not absorbing the orange juice. So I just get like an initial quick orange flavor from the outside of the cookie, whatever's like residual on there. And then that flavor is gone, and I just taste a regular Oreo. I'm not liking this. The orange juice, I also got, what brand did I get, babe? Simply Orange. So it's like actual orange juice. I didn't want to get the orange concentrate. Honestly, that might have been better. Okay, I left this Oreo in so long. We're going to try a third time. This is the last time. Third bite. Everyone knows the rules. Okay. There we go. No. Okay. Oh, that was it? That timer already went off? That was fast. Final verdict. You have to, in order to taste the orange mixed with the Oreo, you have to leave it in for a minimum of 20 seconds. The Oreo, I could feel it start to, like my finger was indenting into the cookie, so I knew it was about to fall apart. That's when I ate it. It just doesn't taste good. Maybe I should take a sip. Hold on. Ooh, yuck. That is not a good combination. Whoever put that on the internet is an idiot. Amy Sullivan says, put an Oreo in your mouth and then take a big swig of juice. That will be more accurate. That's what I just did. That's a much better suggestion also. Should have done that at the beginning. That was disgusting. I had high hopes for this one. I thought this would be like a weird, tangy sweet, kind of like the pickles and ice cream, or that it would give me orange creamsicle vibes. Instead, it gave me just bitter orange juice poured on top of an Oreo. Like it didn't combine. The flavors didn't combine in my mouth. It wasn't a cohesive flavor. It was as if I was just eating two separate things. Like the pickles and ice cream, once it was in my mouth together, they felt like it was one new, exciting flavor. This just tasted disgusting. Can't get that flavor out of my mouth. All right, y'all, that is it this week for the Sully Perspective podcast. Thank you so much for listening. As always, please give me a follow. Right here below, if you're watching, you can see these social medias. On Instagram, I am the Sully Perspective. On YouTube, I am the Sully Perspective. It is my goal this week to get all 5 episodes up. I'm not going to edit them. I'm just going to throw them up on YouTube. And this will be the 6th, I believe, right? 6? Is this episode 6? I believe this is episode 6. I'm rolling with it. I'm going to put them all up on YouTube. So hopefully when you get there, hit subscribe. You can watch these. If you are listening and you'd rather watch the video, go watch on YouTube. And then at Twitter, I am just Sully Perspective. No E at the end. Sully Perspective. As always, thank you, family, for watching. I love you. I appreciate you. You are my favorite people in the world. The people that come in here every week, week in and week out. Jamie Montagna is in here. Glorious Bearden's in here. My mama is in here. Anna is in here. I don't know who else was in here that I saw earlier. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you're listening to the podcast, I love you guys too. Say what's up. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I love you all. Goodbye. Okay, now for you all still here watching. What happens now is I am going to play a video game for the next couple hours and hang out. What time is it? 10:42. So I will pause you. I'm going to put on some music. Keep me on in the background. I'm going to run, go to the bathroom real quick, put away this orange juice and the Oreos. And then tonight we're going to be playing some more Zelda, hanging out, talking, and saying whatever you want in the chat. We'll talk and we'll go from there. I appreciate you guys. I will be right back. Give me 2 minutes and I should be right back. Goodbye.